Okay, as usual, I've already tried to make this video and been way too long, so I'll try to be a little more concise, speak a little bit faster than normal. Hopefully you can still understand me. Last night, a friend on Facebook posted that they were having surgery this morning. They were nervous about it. It's, as far as I'm aware, it's not a very major procedure. It's something to do with a kidney stone. And immediately, all of her friends started posting they were going to pray for her. They're going to pray for her. They're going to pray that, one that said he would pray God would lay his hands on her and comfort her and carry her through this. All these sentiments of prayer, which are worthless. One person did say, and let me know if you need anything, which is a valid sentiment. I mean, the sentiments of prayer, I say, are worthless because, the prayers aren't going to work. I mean, even if everything works perfectly through the surgery and she has no complications or no infections and is perfectly healthy afterwards, it's not because of the prayer. What I get from all these promises of they're going to pray for her is that these people care about her and they want her, they hope she makes it through this, which I'm the same. I hope she makes it through and that everything works out great. Yet all these people have been aware of the surgery for several days now. She's already posted about it. When she originally went to the hospital for the kidney stone, was sent home, and the follow-up appointments were set, and everything else. So why didn't all these people just say then, all right, fine, we're just going to pray for you. You're not going to have the surgery. Because God will heal you, because it says in here, ask and ye shall receive. That if you pray for it, it will be granted. It doesn't say, unless it's not God's will. It says, ask and ye shall receive. Yet that's always the excuse. Well, we prayed for her to be healed, but it just wasn't God's will. He wanted these medical doctors that have studied for years and all these past experiments done, so we know as much about the human body as we do now, and the experimental procedures being done and all the learning and everything else. He wanted these medical doctors to be able to perform their job and utilize the skills that they have gained in order to make her well. That's how God's going to heal her. It's ridiculous. The prayers don't work, or you would have prayed her well. Then now you're going to pray she makes it through this, which is ridiculous. Just as ridiculous of a sentiment as thinking you could pray her healthy. And this book is full of such false promises. Prayer does not work. Otherwise, as I stated, you would have just simply said, well, we're going to pray for you and you're going to be healthy, so you don't need to go back to the doctor. You're going to be healed. And one of the main areas of all these false promises, there's probably in other Gospels, I'm not sure, but I know definitely right at the end of Mark 16, verse 17 starts speaking of the signs, but before the verse before that, 16:16, is about belief. He who believes and is baptized will be saved, but he who does not believe will be condemned. So simply for not believing, you're condemned. Doesn't matter what your works were, what you did in life, the type of person you were. You're condemned just because you didn't believe in God. But he goes on to list something else. And these signs will follow those who believe. These signs, in other words, things that can be seen, that are actually evidence to other peoples. These signs will follow those who believe. In my name they will cast out demons. Hadn't seen it yet. And I mean, why would an exorcism be a big old ritual when you can say, in God's name I cast ye out? Don't need all the other prayers or anything else. If you believe, you just cast out the demons. Of course, I don't know many people today, even if they believe in all this other tripe, who actually believe in demon possession. They might believe there's a hell, but they wouldn't believe in demons. And even if the hell existed, why would God allow demons into his creation to influence people? We're supposed to have free will to decide our own fate, one way or another. Demons shouldn't be able to possess us to begin with. So that's another false promise that's based on a ridiculous premise. They will speak with new tongues. I mean, that says you will just start speaking in a new language. Not the Pentecostal speaking in tongues that they do in church, which Pentecostal ministers have come out and said that's all a bunch of hokey. These people are basically programmed into this type of behavior, that it's not real. And it's been proven false several times. But this says that these believers will speak in new tongues. Not just a sentence in church, but they will have a new language. Yet to see this. Another false promise. They will take up serpents, which anybody can take up serpents. I guess the intent is that they could take up serpents without being harmed, which is ridiculous because it depends on the mood of the snake, how you're handling the snake, whether the snake is used to being handled, things of that nature. But even then, people have been bitten in these churches that are handling snakes. It's a stupid concept. And if they drink anything deadly, it will by no means hurt them. And I haven't seen a Christian yet willing to drink a solution of arsenic or cyanide, thinking that they're going to survive just because they're a believer. Don't know anybody willing to do it. Yet it's promised right here. Yet, I mean, Jim Jones and his cult were believers, but they drank poisoned Kool-Aid to commit mass suicide. But supposedly believers can drink anything deadly and it will by no means harm them. Maybe they were putting their belief to a test, not really intended to commit suicide. Saying, well, we believe, so we can drink this and we'll be just fine. I mean, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see Christians drink some poison, something known to be deadly, and not be harmed by it. I would make it a challenge, but some idiot out there might actually do it, and I don't want to be responsible for their death. Because you take it, you're going to die. You know it as well as I do, which is why people don't do this. Why they would be afraid to. Another false promise. They will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. Okay, this isn't saying some special minister or my chosen few. It says believers. This is what the signs that will follow those who believe. So everybody who believes in God or Jesus and has been baptized should be able to just walk up to the sick, lay hands on them, and heal them. Regardless of what that person's belief system is, because it didn't say they can lay hands on those fellow believers and they will be healed. It says they will lay hands on the sick and they will recover. Just as all the people Jesus healed were not believers. They should be able to heal anyone. There would be no need for hospitals, no need for doctors, because the Christians could heal everybody. Mark 16:19. So then, after the Lord had spoken to them, he was received up into heaven, bodily up into heaven, sat down at the right hand of God. Spiritual being, right hand. Okay. Of course, that was the seat of importance, was at the right hand. So, could be just a euphemism. And they went out and preached everywhere, the Lord working with them and confirming the word through the accompanying signs. In other words, they preached the gospel, but in order to prove this gospel true, to confirm it, they were able to show these signs. They were able to offer evidence. They were able to do things that could not be understood by any other means than that God existing, than the person they were preaching about being true and real. I see no confirmation today. I mean, half my family, well, what about Lourdes? Well, Lourdes, people don't get healed. It's like a 0.00045%. More people than that have natural remissions. Their own bodies beat things back. And I mean, since they actually started requiring before and after medical records as proof of an actual illness and proof that it actually went away and was not something that could have been healed by medical means, only 4 people have been claimed to have been miraculously healed. Yet all of those could have been natural remissions or their own body actually managing to beat this back. Now, their faith may have had something to do with it. Their belief may have been strong enough that their mind overcame and strengthened their body. Just having that hope gave them a strength of will. And allowed their body to overcome that. I mean, science has proven this. If you're happier and you're not alone, you're more likely to heal and heal faster than if you're alone, depressed, dejected, and believe that you're going to die. And that's not what this book says. It doesn't say you have to go to a special spring and bathe in fetid waters that other sick people have been bathing in, or drink a special concoction and God's going to heal you. It says believers will lay their hands on you and heal you. All false promises. So if this is false, the signs that you're supposed to be able to present in order to confirm the word to other people, if these signs do not exist, if you're incapable of them despite being a believer, why can't you recognize them as false promises? As being untrue. And if that's untrue, why would you believe any of it? It's all garbage. Full of false promises. If it's not full of false promises, then there's a Christian out there who could walk up to me, lay their hands on me, and I would be healed. Nerve damage gone. All my other disc issues gone. I'd be able to return to work and live a happier, fuller life, and I would most definitely believe in your God. Whether I'd worship that God or not is another story entirely. But I would have no choice but to believe in it because you would have offered a sign. Nobody can do these things, though. Nobody. The few people who have tried to claim that they could have been proven to be frauds. Peter Popoff, proven a fraud, admitted fraud. Yet what is he doing today? Selling miracle water, making hundreds of millions a year. Through the gullibility of believers. It's ridiculous. It truly is.